Hey guys, welcome to Followers of the Force and our happy hour on Saturdays. I'm Hannah.
I'm Emily.
I'm Meg.
You may notice that we're missing two of our fearless leaders. They are currently tied up in other things. So it's ladies' night and we're controlling the conversation.
Woo!
So whoop whoop. All right. And Rachel has the controls.
Oh no.
She's currently at work and we've given her the power of the banners and when to shut us off. So that's a little terrifying, not gonna lie. So we were talking, I know we were talking in our Discord earlier today, and I was actually earlier this week that we were going to talk about our hi Kiki Waffle, hi Candace or Brie. I'm not sure who's hanging out, but hello. But we were talking about obviously we were talking about Star Wars, that's all we do.
Hey, I was talking about figure skating for a while.
You were talking about figure skating. I am amazed at your knowledge of this, and I love it so much because I'm going to be honest, my only time that I'm interested is the Olympics because I'm a poser. That's the only time I sound like I know what I'm talking about.
I'm a very new fan, but very,
Very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable.
Dove deep quickly.
That's usually how it works. But we were talking, you know what? We're going to change the question. Figure skating in Star Wars. Who would kill it? And who would just suck ass?
You have to have a certain physique, I guess. Well, it depends on if you're doing singles or pairs. Because like pairs, you can, like the men got to be like stronger and have more. Well, the women too. You have more muscle in pairs because there's a lot of flips and jumps and it's crazy.
Yeah,
like they defy gravity. Probably it would be good if you were a force user.
R2D2 would be amazing. Oh my god! Him and Chopper. Because Chopper's got arms.
Yeah, they would just like be spinning. Chopper does like to spin.
He really does. Him and what's the protocol droid? I can't remember his buddy's name. That sounds like Snape or Alan Rickman.
AP5.
AP5, yeah. Can they both be partners?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I feel like even though Kanan has the Force, he'd still be terrible at it anyway.
Yeah, Kanan. Yeah.
I just need an episode with that now. It's probably an obvious answer, but I think Rey and Ben would be a really killer pair because, like, again, you talking about physique. First thing my mind went to is Fridge Man Ben Solo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, didn't somebody do? I feel like I might have seen this on YouTube, but didn't somebody do a Ben and Rey duet of something, or was that ballet? I'm getting those confused.
I don't know.
I think they did. Seen that.
I think they did. I must find it. Okay. Anyways, sorry. That's where my brain went. All right. Figure skating in Star Wars. Okay, so singles then. Is there any like super requirements for that one?
Well, normally they're petite. Mm-hmm. It's not a requirement, but
Savage. Oh, that'd be a good one. I bet a Night Sister would do really well, going off of the whole Savage thing.
Yeah, Ventress she'd kill it.
Yeah, maybe literally.
I'm trying to think of people from like ice planets. All I can think of is like Senator Chuchi.
Yeah, Pantorans.
Yeah.
I don't think the Tals would be very good at ice skating.
Although, who knows? They might surprise us. They might be like their cultural sport.
I think more like curling. Tauntauns on ice. Oh my god, yes. Tauntauns on ice. Could not be a touring thing in the galaxy. Instead of Palpatine telling Anakin the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise during a space opera, it's during Tauntauns on ice. Oh man, the whole story would have just changed.
Oh man.
It would have just changed everything.
Oh, shit.
I'm already crying. How far are we into this? 5 minutes? Oh my god, tons of ice. Oh my god, I didn't know I needed that. Whew. Okay.
Someone draw this, please. I need art.
Art. Oh my god, this is gonna be great because I love the figure skating outfits. Like they're just so pretty and like they're very much the opposite of what I would choose to wear on any given day. But I'm like, oh my god, I need a tauntaun in this now.
Like a tauntaun and a tutu on ice. Oh.
Can one of them be lifting some like R2 over his head? Oh my god, I need this. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, all right. Well, we're done. We can't top this conversation. I know we always can. It's still early. Mm-hmm. Oh, Christ. Yeah, where were we going with this initially? Oh, like lives. Look, we have another. Oh, now Megan's got to answer these questions once she gets in. I need to hear her answers. Hello.
Hi. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. But I'm late.
You missed it. We're currently having a conversation about ice skating and Star Wars. Oh no, her internet's shitting out too.
Yeah, Megan, we can kind of hear you, but it's like rubber banding.
Yeah, Megan's gonna be the David. It's because David's not here. She's gonna. We have to have somebody glitch out at least once.
She's taking us on a walk.
Yeah, little house tour. Sorry, not my house either.
No, Megan, you're not coming through, unfortunately.
Oh no, this is normal. This is so normal for our lives. Like,
yep.
We're just waiting for somebody to get their internet back and just like, are they gonna? What
She's
weird face
much
are they
farther away than all of us.
That is
to be fair.
That is really fair. Oh no, she glitched out. Okay.
So while we wait on Megan, the other topic in our Discord was recasting people in Star Wars or like characters who haven't been cast yet. Who would we cast them as? So discuss.
I was thinking the only one that like ever came up to my mind was Ventress. I would love to see a live action Ventress. And the only person that was coming to my brain was like Charlize Theron.
Oh.
That was about the only person that came to my brain. Somebody please help me if you have a suggestion.
Huh. I wouldn't have chosen that, but she's kind of a chameleon. Like she can play a lot of different roles, so yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, that was my thought. Megan, are you good?
Yeah, I think I am. I'm not positive. That's why I'm like holding very still. I don't think there's any logic behind this, but I think if I move a lot, it makes my internet slower. I'm just like,
well, it's much better. There's like just a little bit of lag on your voice, but it's not that bad.
Awesome. Yeah, my 5G wouldn't work, but now it's back. It's back.
Okay. All right. I think it's caught up with you. All right, there we go.
Megan, did you have any ideas for who would be good figure skaters in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, either pairs or singles, doesn't matter. We decided Tauntauns on Ice needs to tour the galaxy.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Oh
no.
Oh no. Oh god.
I feel like Ezra would be. Is it doing it?
A little. I heard Ezra.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's basically my answer. I feel like Ezra has like. I'm gonna try leaving and coming back.
Okay, we're all going to be waiting. Got Ezra, and that's it so far. Just stay tuned.
I think she's right though. Ezra is so confident, and I mean, I don't know. I feel like I haven't watched Rebels that much, so maybe I don't know his character very well. But he comes across in my mind as very confident.
Yeah, he's very good at flying by the seat of his pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that mean Sabine gets to design all the costumes? Because that would be killer.
Yes.
Oh, I hope so.
Hey, Carly.
I wonder if Sabine's ever like worked with like textiles. I know she does a lot of paint and she works with color a lot, but does she work with like fabric?
If nothing else, she'd be good at like, this is me knowing nothing about art or the fashion industry, but don't they usually like sketch it out first so she could do that and then find somebody to textile it?
Yeah, like the concept art. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. I like that. That'd be really fun. You know what? The Jedi wouldn't have been so bland in their clothing choices if Sabine had been there.
True.
Just think of the color.
It is interesting how some Jedi wear things that are totally different from like the normal Jedi thing. Like Ahsoka's outfits are not.
Yeah, hers are. I wonder if it's more of like again, this is us. I'm just speculating. Is like I don't know if it was more of like a cultural thing for her, or if it was more of just a creative choice in the writer's room.
Yeah, I don't know. Although, come to think of it, a lot of the female characters don't have like the traditional Jedi robes. Like Ayla Secura, I love her outfit.
Do you?
And like she has like one long sleeve and one short, and it doesn't really make sense, but it works.
It's very.
Wait, I want to look it up now.
Her outfit's so good. There's one girl on Instagram who cosplays her really, really well. And I'm just like, that's such an impractical fashion choice, but I love it so much.
Oh, I love it. Like I've looked at it 100 times. But now I'm like looking at it. It's cool.
Yeah, I don't get the one long sleeve, but I like it.
I don't understand. It's
like
why?
Who else? I mean, Maul's just the biggest drama queen, so he's got the greatest fashion choices. I mean, how many pairs of black can you own? And this is coming from the person whose mostly wardrobe is black. So, but I'm like, you know what? I'm here for it. But
also,
that's just me.
like,
I'm a little biased.
When he goes bare chested, it still really works.
It's called fan service. Oh man. I loved it. It was great. Although, like, when you watch like the Clone Wars, like the Night Brother episodes, they all like have those deep V's, so it's got to be like a cultural thing. I'm just like, they just run around like half dressed like 98% of the time. So who am I to insult? Who am I to judge somebody else's culture and clothing choices?
Now I gotta just look up pictures of Jedi outfits because I've never really like I've thought about it, but I haven't really thought about it.
Like female Jedi. I'm trying to think who else. Oh, like Luminara and Barriss.
Yeah. And that does seem cultural.
Yeah. Especially with like the Miralans. I'm sure I just horribly butchered that. Rey. Adikala. Oh yeah. I was like, I'm probably gonna butcher this really, really horribly. But like Adi Gala, what was she?
Galia?
Oh God, I can't pronounce her. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her species. I'm so sorry.
but
is it also isn't a test of courage the main character? Is it? No, she's not. Sorry, that was somebody else I was thinking of. Nope, got that wrong.
Well, and like some of them do wear, like she wears, or maybe that's her sister or the other one. There are two of her species, but they wear like traditional Jedi robes. It looks like Yaddle is wearing.
Yes, Yaddle is traditional. Oh, who else? I feel like, and this is just me probably projecting on when I read, but like the High Republic, I feel like they were a lot more flamboyant and less the celibate monks we meet in the prequels. They seem a little bit more.
Their The High Republic's like, I hate the word aesthetic, but I don't know.
It's a good word
to say. But like their aesthetic, their color palette, and like the gold. And I have not been to Galaxy's Edge, but I've watched a lot of YouTube videos about building your own lightsaber, and like the more golden ones that is kind of more popular during the High Republic time. I think that's what I would go with.
Ooh, yes. Yes. Yeah, it's an experience. Megan, you're back. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how well I'm back, but I am back for the moment.
No, that's good.
Oh, that was good?
I'm just making sure. Well, it was good. You're still on a bit of a delay, but you're like stopping less than usual. Apparently somebody has to take up the mantle of freezing every live. And today it's Megan.
I know. It's fair that it's me because I did show up late. So
well, there have been a lot of storms lately, so that's could be part of it.
Yeah, it's been doing that on and off all day, and I'm just like, but no, I was just thinking about that. And Ahsoka changes her look. How many times? 3, 4 season 1, 2, 3,
4,
3,
well,
3,
5,
4?
5,
3, 4, 5. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
So.
With the new season, that's another outfit change. 5, if you count Ahsoka the White as its own.
Yeah, well, I mean, you changed your outfit, and then the Mandalorian, so like 5.
I feel like the Mandalorian is what she wears during Rebels.
Is it?
I think it's very similar.
It's close, yeah. It's really close. So, okay, we'll count that maybe like a half.
Yeah, so 5.5.
5.5 outfits. Yeah. Girls gotta have some options.
She has her tube top, and then she has like the boob cut out, and then she has her blue outfit to match the blue lightsabers, and then the Rebels outfit, and then the Mandalorian, which is a half, and then Ahsoka the White, so that's 5.5.
Okay. I like how her outfit matches her lightsabers. I do appreciate that.
Yes, committed to the aesthetic.
Yeah, as someone who basically only wears monochromatic clothes, I'm like,
It's like,
what an idea. Yeah.
I do really appreciate that her first like 2 outfits were red, and it really clashed with her orange skin, and her green lightsabers. But I loved it, which is really weird. I guess the one lightsaber is almost like a yellow green. By the way, I love that they made her Shoto blade like a slightly different color, because thinking about, I don't know a whole lot about animation, but I assume that if you made them both the same color, it would be a lot easier to animate, because like you just have to do the same color on both lights. But if it's a different color, you have to keep track of where that blade is going in comparison to her other hand, and I feel like that would be just like a little bit harder. So I appreciate that they did that.
Yeah, and then it makes you beg the question of like, so did she find 2 Kyber crystals?
Yeah, because she had her main one.
Yeah, because she had the main one.
Although
I wonder how common that is.
There is, well, hold on. I think there is a story that Anakin gave her second one, but I don't know if that's canon or not. I saw that on a YouTube video. So
okay, no, I was just honestly wondering. I'm like, I wonder how common that is, that younglings when they go to Ilum find 2 as opposed to the 1. So
yeah, well, no, I think she went back to get it later because they realized the second one would enhance her fighting style. But she was there on Ilum with the younglings, and so like she has gone there again.
That is true.
Do you think that Jedi who only fight with one saber are like jealous of people who fight with 2?
I would be.
That's not fair. They look cool.
They do look cool. Although, like, if you have an open hand, you can still like use the Force too, and so it's just like a different fighting style.
Yeah.
That leads into a question I have had for a little while. So if the Force is something that flows completely through someone, like the they always say like let the force flow through you. Could you force kick? And have we seen that?
We've seen force kicks.
I want to see it now.
Just a full-on kick the door down and it goes flying. Or like you hold your foot out, the force works.
Yeah, like if your hands are bound. If you did like a kick, could you push with the force out? So like you don't have to hold it necessarily, kind of like how they can go like and then pull it back.
Yeah.
What's stopping them from doing that with their legs?
I bet it's in the Clone somewhere.
I mean, if you're a Dug, technically, aren't you using the force with your feet? If you're like a Sebulba creature thingy, the Dugs. Wouldn't that technically? Because aren't they walking on their hands, but they're using their feet? Well, I'm very confused.
What are hands and feet? If you walk on one, does that make them feet?
Yeah, this is like when I am trying to explain something about my dogs, and I'm like, oh, his arm. And it's like, no, it's all legs. If you walk on all four, and I'm like, no, that's his arm.
Like, no. Yeah. The same thing. Just like, oh god.
Yeah. But you instantly know what I'm talking about with it. So it does work. If I'm like, oh, his leg, it's which one?
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime my dog has to go to the vet a lot. And anytime you have to like explain what leg has an issue, you're like, okay, like the back right one, but his right or my right.
Yeah. It's like if you're looking at him, it's this one.
Yeah. Not that I mistreat my dog. He's just elderly and has a lot of he has pulled both of his ACLs and has had to have double TPLO surgery, whatever it's called. Anyway. Yeah, he's had a rough time.
Oh, bless. Oh my god. Now just see something with the force. I just want a Jedi just to kick off their boots and then just force kick. Just instead of dropping the robe dramatically, they take off their boots.
Well, again, this brings me back to Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I know I can't get through a stream without. But like in the early episodes, if you like bound the bender's hands, they couldn't really bend. Like you see that in the Great Divide episode, which is the worst episode, and I don't know how much we want to consider it canon, but what happens in that episode. But then, like later on, like King Boomy bends with his head, and you see a lot of bending with the feet, especially with firebenders. They always like kick, and the fire comes out of their feet. It's really cool. So I assume that the force is similar.
I've never seen this, so I'm taking your word for all of this.
Oh my god, you have put it on.
It's on my very long list.
It's so good.
It's like the best really story of all time.
So the concept of like them being able to kind of force push out of any limb. Do you think that the younglings have ever played crack the egg on a trampoline? Where you like you hold yourself really tight and everybody else jumps around you until you get jumped up so much that you go, ugh! And do you think that's like creating a hydrogen bomb?
Oh my god, yes!
This really takes me back to wanting like a youngling or like a Jedi temple story in the vein of Harry Potter. Because they have to get up to so much mischief.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I think even if you trained a child, like, I mean, I think they take them from basically birth or like quite young, because Anakin is considered really old. Mm-hmm. Even if you train them from birth to be like, no, you are this like stoic, unfeeling, completely like morally dead center person, like there's gonna be trial and error. So I feel like there would at least be a show's worth of mischief.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even if it's just like a short, like just like WandaVision, couple 8 episodes, like I'd watch the hell out of it.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the whole Jedi taking them as like young children?
I just have a lot of feelings on Jedi taking children in general. But
yeah, I mean, I assume their parents give them up, but it does seem kind of in the vein of brainwashing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a bit. And I know that Dooku came from like a like fancier family, like an upper class family, but we don't really get that background from other Jedi, so you don't really know how much could be kind of perceived as like coercion of like, oh well, we're gonna give your kid like a way better life. Like, they might have to do some like child soldier stuff, but like they're gonna have a great life. They're gonna get like a great education. They're gonna live in Coruscant. They're gonna have all these opportunities. Like eventually they'll probably become like a diplomat kind of thing. It's like, I'm sure like some people would really want that for their kids, but I'm sure other people would just be like, no, I want my kids home with me, and that's completely valid. Like we don't know where the spectrum lies. Like someone
especially in socioeconomic status. Yeah, kind of like what you're saying. Because for them, it could be like, I can't give my kid anything, so this is the best option for them. Or in some villages, like if you have a force-sensitive child, it could be a great honor. So when the Jedi come, like your family gets elevated in status or something. Again, we don't get that. So
At the same time, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts. One, they do have the choice to leave. I mean, it doesn't happen that often because we only have like the last 20. So it really doesn't happen that often. But with these people who the children might not have the same opportunity growing up, like if they kept their force sensitive children, would that help their like society grow? Because those children would like, I don't know. I feel like having the force gives you maybe not more power, but I don't know, like you could help that society grow a little bit more.
Yeah, so you know what that makes me think of is when I was reading Master and Apprentice, Qui-Gon had like this internal monologue going on about he has this like question of like why they raised the younglings on Coruscant, which is like the biggest city in the galaxy, like it has all this wealth, power, and influence, and he's like, there are plenty of other safe, nice, nature-filled planets. Remember, Qui-Gon's a hippie. We're all about the nature-filled planets right now. But like he's talking about like putting them in different parts of the galaxy and ingraining them in the communities, so like they learn that empathy and compassion for other people, as opposed to like suddenly like when they're I don't know how old kids get to be Padawans, like 10, 12. Instead of just suddenly being thrust in this galaxy where all they've seen their whole lives is like basically the epitome of privilege, because as a Jedi, like you're basically all the way up on the ranking status. So I don't know. I'm paraphrasing quite a bit of it, but that's just kind of what that made me think of. So
I can hear a dog in the background.
She's not happy.
Oh, bless.
I'm actually curious now, like what happens if you oh my god. If you have like a force sensitive child and the Jedi come to get them and you say, no, I don't want that, like what happens? Like
I would assume that they'd be like okay, like your choice. Maybe they would like leave a phone number.
My calling card.
Yeah. I don't know if they would then like incentivize, like I don't what the process could be. I feel like I don't know. It's one of those things where there's just so much speculation, and I feel like that would go against the ethics of the Jedi. Yeah. I mean,
go on, Megan.
We see it in like Clone Wars, and I mean even like with Dooku that we see in the prequels, that there are Jedi who bend the rules or just straight up are like, you know what? No. about things. Dumb. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a scandal where that had happened. But it doesn't seem like scandal information is widespread throughout the Jedi community.
Yeah.
Like probably with the council, they'd be like, ooh, like I'm sure the council is hiding some stuff, is basically what I'm saying, from the general population. So I wonder how many Jedi would come to these conclusions on their own, because they don't have like that network of being like, no, we definitely shouldn't do that. Like this is a bad thing. And here's what's happened to people who have done that. Like they've been, banished or whatever.
Yeah.
Now I'm just kind of rambling.
What I was gonna say is we do see a lot of storylines about people trying to steal Force-sensitive children. I mean that happened with Ahsoka when she was a child until Plo Koon found her, and it happens again in the Clone Wars, and then we see it again in Rebels. Like that is a very common, not trope, but story plot point. And so. Yeah, maybe the parents just know like they're safer with the Jedi Order because otherwise there might be like a price on their head, or like they'll always have to have their guard up.
Or you have a case in like The Mandalorian where like you have somebody who unknowingly has a Force-sensitive child, and if they lose their temper, they can throw mud horns around, like or throw stormtroopers around. So
in The Mandalorian, Ahsoka has a line which I find very interesting where she says about Grogu, better just to let his powers fade, or whatever it is. I found that interesting.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm like, maybe they just fizzle out? Is that why like they want to get them as young children so that like
is it like
sharpen?
Is it like Halloween Town rules where if Marnie doesn't practice witchcraft by 13, she loses it? Like that's the genuine connection in my mind. Because would that change based on how species age? Because like Grogu, they're like, oh, he's 50, but he's still a child to his species. But obviously a human like Din is, when you're fit, like he might be 50. I actually don't know how old Pedro Pascal is, and I'm really bad at guessing ages. So he could be anywhere between 35 and 50 to me.
And it also kind of goes back to the midi-chlorian conversation. Like, is Force sensitivity a skill or like a language? Like you can learn the language, but if you don't use the language, you can lose it. Or if it's like more of a midi-chlorian thing and like innate to your being, like would it fade or not? I don't know.
That's an interesting question because I'm probably going to make a repeated argument of that. Like, everybody talks about midi-chlorians, like they're in everybody. So I'm kind of leaning more towards the language thing. Like some people may be able to pick the language up better, and that's where you get the Jedi from. But I don't, and this is just me in my opinion, I don't think it's exclusive. Force powers are exclusive to the Jedi. I think the older you get, like you think about like teaching a second language to children, like you start them really young in elementary school and they usually pick it up better. Whereas if I try to learn a second language right now, it'd be a hell of a lot harder, and even harder once I hit probably like 40 or 50. So that's kind of where I hang on that opinion. So
yeah, it is kind of a better story if anyone could be eligible. Although I don't know, because being a Jedi, I get the sense like in the galaxy's culture, like it is such an honor and it is such a rare thing. So I kind of get wanting it to stay a rare thing, and maybe not like everyone can do it, but I don't know.
Right.
I see both sides.
Yeah.
Do you think what do Jedi do when they retire? Like to go to the other end of the age spectrum?
I think they die rather than retire. They just go until
someone kills them.
Who was that little parrot-faced alien who helped Ahsoka with her lightsabers when the clown lady stole them? That lady scared me. That was scary. The Django jumper? There's no retirement plan.
I don't know who
the
you're talking about.
Jumper or something like that. But he was like technically retired.
Oh, like the turtle? Is it the turtle guy?
The turtle. Yeah, sorry. His parrot beak was the only thing that stuck out to me.
I forgot what his name is, but I think he's more of a turtle. But he has like a white. It's like, I looked this up recently. It's not white. It's like light blue. But I always thought it was white, and I always thought that was cool. That later Ahsoka's lightsabers were anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was kind of retired and like taught younglings.
Yeah. I guess they teach younglings. I mean, that's what Yoda did. Hi, Nessa. Full-on Viking Jedi. Nessa's got a really good point. Just going until the... Tara Sinube, thank you, my dear.
Oh my God. Was bothering me.
No, I was like, I gotta Google this. This is gonna drive me nuts. But yeah, I guess they just teach younglings, which is kind of amusing. I don't know. I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
I think in my retirement, I'd be like, I just want to see the galaxy. Just please get me out of here for a minute.
Right?
Or like, I want to be a farmer. I've decided I want to be a farmer. And I'm going to go do that instead. And everyone's like, wow, really? Your skills will be, I guess, just like in Rogue One. When he's like, farmer, life. Man of your talents. Yeah, he's like, I've spent literally my entire life learning how to fight. Maybe it's kind of nice to just stand in dirt for a while. Like,
yeah. Although if we're, I think about Yoda and Obi-Wan when they're in hiding, which is not really a retirement, but in a sense, it's a little bit of a retirement.
As close as they get.
And how harsh that was on them, like physically and mentally. Like we see Obi-Wan age so quickly, and Yoda too. I think ages a lot, and Yoda, he might have been putting it on, and when we see him in Dagobah, it might have just been an act. But if it wasn't, then his mind is a little off. I think it was probably just an act. I don't know. You all know my opinion on Yoda.
Yeah. I suppose it would be really hard for them to go from having like this big purpose of being part of like a millennia old
that was the point I was trying to get to.
Yeah. And then being like, great, you can't do that anymore. And if you do, not only are you putting yourself in danger, you're putting like your charges in danger. So like I would say that Luke is like Obi-Wan's charge. He's in charge of protecting him while he is on Tatooine. Yoda's kind of doing whatever the fuck he wants. He's just he's hiding in the forest. He's biding his time.
Arzu's showing up right on time. You said Obi-Wan.
Say Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Well, but I can see how that would be like, cool, I have a purpose, but it's so much smaller than my previous one was that I am just like bored and unhappy now.
Yeah.
I'm also biased and don't think it would be easy to be happy on Tatooine. So that doesn't help either. But
and they're so used to traveling and seeing so many people and like being revered too. They go from being like revered members of society to being like not even outcasts, but like hunted down.
Yeah, hunted.
Yeah, so I think it would be hard it would be such a different lifestyle from what they're used to.
That is true. The ulcers alone.
I want there to be like a super cut of the prequels that's just Obi-Wan rolling his eyes whenever Anakin does something. Just him going like...
It'd probably still be as long as at least one of the movies can buy.
It would just be watching the movie.
Just shit.
It's like, oh my god, you're so whiny.
I saw one of his like superhero poses, like when you jump and then you it was really good. That was not a very good story. Sorry.
No, I had a friend who took you know all the like wipes that they do in the prequels to like scene transition. She like took, I want to say Phantom Menace, and changed them all to those like PowerPoint star wipes. And it was so funny. It was one of those like, oh, it's a really little change. It shouldn't make that much of a difference. But every time it came up, it was so funny.
No.
And it added to the experience.
Just made it even weirder than it already was.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's great.
I had said in the Discord chat, this is taking it to a different kind of question topic. What Star Wars character do you think would be most likely to get a boat stuck in the Suez Canal? And I had said, why is it Hondo?
It's Hondo.
Hondo.
Yep.
Chat, if you guys have any suggestions on who someone would get a boat stuck in the Suez Canal besides Hondo, like, I want to hear it. Him and Chopper. It was him and Chopper that got it stuck.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Chopper's the little digger trying to get it out.
He's the one who puts little explode.
Yeah, he's just like, I can do it, and then he gives up halfway through. Not that the digger has, but I'm not keeping super close up to date with what's happening. I'm just following the memes.
Same.
I can see it also being Anakin. Like, he's trying to do something like totally different, and then he's just like crash land. I think of the opening of episode 3 where they're trying to land the ship, and he's like, I think we lost something.
Obi-Wan's there just
coming in
we
hot.
still have half the way.
Anakin would just be like, "Why are we moving anymore?"
Like we're alive. It was a successful landing.
Yeah. Someone in our Discord had also said Han, but I think Han would have fixed it by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yelled at Chewie to fix it.
Yeah, there you go.
People wouldn't be going around like the Cape of Good Hope if Han had done it.
Well, and if he hadn't fixed it, he would have gotten out of Dodge. Like,
yeah.
Be like, all right, see ya.
Oh my god.
He would have like ground the serial number off of the boat or however it works and just ran.
Oh my god.
Poe gets the Falcon boat stuck and he's stressfully trying to get it unstuck before Rey finds out. Chewie yells a lot. Yeah, I can see that as well. One of my favorite parts of Rise of Skywalker was their banter when like the ship comes back basically on fire. Mm-hmm. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, what happened to BB-8? What about that? So it'd be like, Poe, why is the boat stuck in the canal? You'd be like, well, why is the air conditioning on? It's already. Why'd you turn it past 70? I'm imagining he's an air conditioner dad.
Mm.
Yeah.
You can wear layers in the winter for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's going up to all the windows like these are double glazed. This is gonna be good for you later.
3 layers of socks. This is sounding way too close to my father. We gotta I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, I lost the thread of the conversation.
Suez Canal getting boat stuck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I try to think who else would probably get a boat stuck. Oh man. I feel like maybe Fives and Echo would get a boat stuck.
Mm.
And hands down. And it would be Fives' fault and Echo was like, I told you shouldn't have done that.
Not to say I told you so, but I did
you
say
followed the rules.
Few times. Yeah.
They have like this really moral reason and then it just backfires.
Yeah. That sums up their relationship and I love it. If they had Wrecker there, he can just push the boat out of the canal. Like we're fine. Like if Wrecker Fives, Echo, and Hard Case, yeah. Hard
Is
Case
Rachel
would be the one
commenting at us on our own
No,
chat?
I think David's commenting at us.
Oh, okay.
Maybe? And Rachel's the one putting them up. Oh, Ezra and Zeb. That's a good one.
Oh, 100% Ezra and Zeb.
Oh, no, it's Rachel. Okay, Rachel's commenting.
Zeb. That's a good one.
Ezra and Zeb, totally.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Like when they steal that TIE fighter, I laugh every time. Granted, I have not seen Rebels more than twice, but I laugh both times.
But every time you saw it, you're like, if I had a nickel for every time I laughed, I'd have 2 nickels.
I'd have 2 nickels. I love their brotherly dynamic. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I remember watching the first episode of Rebels, and my husband and I watched it in quarantine, like when my state was like super locked down. And we were like, oh, yeah, it was okay. And then by like episode 4, we were just staying up till midnight. Like, next episode. I think we got through it in like 2 weeks. Because just he would come home from work and I'd be like, great, well, dinner's ready and we're going to watch Rebels. Oh, such a fun time. Everything else around it wasn't very fun, but like that part was fun.
You had to get through like a whole arc before bed. Otherwise, you couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
That's at least my rule.
Yeah. And as soon as we finished Rebels, I put on Avatar The Last Airbender for him. I was like, I'm going to go to bed, but I think you'd really like this. And I've already seen it all, so like I can pop in anywhere. And then he watched like 4 episodes and got into bed and he was like, it was really good.
I almost wore an Avatar shirt today and I'm like, that's probably too far, Emily. Stay in your lane.
You got to rep where you can.
Have you seen has he seen The Legend of Korra, Megan?
We have started watching it, but because we're like in a share house right now, it's kind of hard to get TV time. Yeah. But when we move back into our place next week, we will be resuming. Because I haven't seen all of Legend of Korra. I've seen bits. But I was watching it like on Nick as it was coming out, like kind of spotty. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to tell me your opinion, because it is much more divisive than the original show, but
I do remember that. Yeah. I find the world very interesting. Sorry. Now I'm also turning this into an Avatar podcast. I find how much the world has changed with like Korra's time as opposed to Aang's time, and how fast it is. I like the vibe, but I really loved the like vibe and aesthetic of the first one.
Yeah.
But like I think that it's good so far, but we're also like 3 episodes in, so there's not a whole lot of storyline or anything yet. Like it's all building and we're meeting characters. But
yeah.
Excited.
Well, keep me updated.
We did start Falcon and the Winter Soldier last night.
Oh, how is it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it as much as WandaVision, but I'm not a huge Marvel fan. Like I just don't like action movies that much. So it's not even just Marvel. It's like movies that are really, really actiony and not super character driven, which some superhero movies can be. There are differences, like I would say Black Panther and Captain Marvel. And more of like the standalone ones are character driven, and then the big groups, it can be a bit more like punchy. Now that they're getting into more of like hanging out and having banter, which I love, I'm enjoying it. But the first episode, I was kind of like on. But yeah, we're gonna continue watching it. So yeah. Bo-Katan would get the boat stuck because it disrupts international trade, and take pride in how long it's.
I can see this episode very clearly in my head.
Yeah. Oh. And she would somehow get Din to come along with it. She'd be like, "I'll make you a deal." That's how every episode goes.
Oh yeah.
So okay, I know. I've started the Ahsoka Tan ship. Still stand by it. But do you also get something between her and Din? Do you guys feel nothing?
No.
Oh, I feel like there's.
I think if there is, it's very one-sided, just because Din's kind of a clueless himbo.
Yeah.
So I gotta like say it's right now it feels very one-sided if there is.
Maybe I'm just trying to insert romance wherever I can.
Hey, you know what? It's okay.
Yeah, I see it a little bit, but I think it's more of my bias because like Bo-Katan as a character and also the actress that plays her is like every woman I've ever fallen in love with has looked almost exactly like her in body shape. I'm like, oh, she could break me in half over her knee like Bane.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I want to believe that she will have romance because I'm like, it could be me.
Yeah. I mean, like at the same time, I really like it when we have
you got so much support.
Well, that's comforting. I would be fine if there wasn't romance. I mean, I respect that too, to have characters that would know romance, but I don't know. For this show in particular, for some reason, I'm always like, is there something there?
Yeah.
I think
I'm trying to recapture the high of that episode in the first season where he almost his mask almost comes off.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is who I want him with, Omera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That did happen.
Yeah, I just want I want to feel that again.
that tension of the will they, won't they?
Yeah. It's almost like we talked about this Pride and Prejudice movie a lot too, but how like not touching is like the hand touching is such a big thing because they've set it up to where like in that society you don't touch, and so whenever you do, it's like, oh man.
Yeah, it's like first base in that time. Just like they do that in Bridgerton as well, actually.
Yeah.
If anybody has seen it, when they're in the gallery and they're just kind of like touching the back of each other's hands, and then the fingers kind of go over, and I was like, maybe I do like this show.
I've been told to watch it. But I honestly don't watch a lot of TV shows, and so it takes so much like I'm so happy that you guys convinced me to watch WandaVision because I wouldn't have done it normally, but I did really enjoy it. So
yeah.
Yes, Omera needs more love. We must talk about that. We didn't mention her last night. We just finished our episode, our last episode on women of Star Wars, and we talked about Rey last night, and we were shouting out a bunch of women at the end. I am ashamed on my behalf for not saying O'Mara.
Yeah, I feel like we could have just sat down and gotten that like Women of the Galaxy art book and just read each page and been like, oh, here's who I would like to shout out. Like
honorable mentions.
Yeah, and it would have just been another hour.
Oh, I'm sad I wasn't able to join, but I look forward to hearing it on Monday.
We kind of got off the rails near the end again.
I mean, we always do.
Surprised at this point. We forgot we were recording like halfway through the end bit. Like we asked a question, we answered it, and then we got off the rails, and then we ended it again.
I wonder how many of our listeners ever actually get that far to know how often we get off.
Clearly not many.
If they do, it's just like I applaud you. Or if it's just background noise. If our voices are your background noise, cool.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll put a podcast on before I go to sleep, and I'll just be like, oh, play out instead of like 30 minutes. Like if I'm really interested in the topic, I'll put it on for, okay, realistically, I'm going to fall asleep in 20 minutes. I'll put it on for 15, and then I'll be too tired to like do anything. And then some podcasts, like not even just, it's like some, I'll be like, play this baby out. Background noise as I slumber. Like, love it.
Going to the chat, I think it's Rachel. We didn't cry, Emily. I misread that. Like, we didn't cry wolf. Like, you didn't cry my name, Emily. It's the editor in me. If you don't have a comma, I like totally.
You get judged. All right, I'm so impressed.
I'm so impressed that you guys didn't cry for once in this month.
I mean, I was pretty close last night.
Yeah. When I was quoting the Jeff Buckley song, I think I hit it well because I have like a little bit of a cold, so I can pretend like I'm not near tears, but I was like,
it was so good. That was
like muted myself quickly after so I could exhale.
Yes, female gaze.
Oh, Rachel, that wasn't shade at you. That was shade at me. Like I'm like I realize that the way that I read sentences is not the way that most people write them.
We're all just a bunch of uncultured heathens compared to Emily.
I will say I don't think it was last week, but the week before when I was on stream and I said fortnightly in a sentence and David called me out for it and Emily was like, and she used it correctly. That too was a high that I'm still chasing. Because like I knew I used it correctly, but having an editor be like, yeah, no, that was right. I'm like, yes.
Oh, well, I'm very
slam dunk.
Happy.
Oh man.
Okay. I'm speaking only through comments. What do you want from me? Grammatically correct sentences. That's what we want.
That's all we want.
Oh my God.
Correct.
That's too much to ask on your Saturday night.
Semicolons between two independent clauses.
Oh God. I haven't thought about that in ages.
I over quarantine, technically for the last like year and a half, but I finished the first draft of it over quarantine. I like wrote a book, and I'm now going through the process of doing like my first edit of it. And I'm like, who was she? Like, who was the woman who wrote this? Because it is all over the place. Like, not so much the story is all over the place, but like there are clearly times where it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, we'll write 500 more words and then go to bed. And I'm like reaping what I sowed now.
Yeah. Do you do NaNoWriMo? NaNoWriMo in November?
I have tried. The last 2 Novembers, I've had something interrupting it. So one, I had started working again like very recently. So I was adjusting to a new job. And the one before, we were in America visiting my family. So I was like, I'm not gonna write this. I'm not gonna write this book. And then I've tried a couple times before to like no success. I was gonna say to varying degrees, but I was like, actually to no success.
Yeah. Meg, you do NaNoWriMo, right?
Yeah, I did it for 12 years in a row, and this past November, because 2020 was the first year, I didn't do it, and like I honestly don't know if I ever will again. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I miss it, but also not really.
It's so much fun. Hannah's confused. Okay, Hannah, NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. You write a novel during November, 50,000 words. It's 1,667 words a day. I've done it like 7 times. It's a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I struggle writing my fics. Nope.
Well, this past year, because it was 2020, I'm like, I'm going to write fan fiction.
There you go.
Which I had never written fan fiction for ever. I had never written it before.
Same.
But I'm like, I don't have to create the world, so this is kind of easier.
Yeah, it's great practice. Like when I am working on my like original novel, I can find myself getting like quite bogged down because I'll be like, oh fuck, how does this make sense? How does this make sense? Like, even if it's not important to the story, it's important to me. So I worry about figuring it out. And then when I get too bogged down, I go to this like 16,000 word Twilight fan fiction I've been working on for 4 years.
Oh, I love it.
Yes!
Oh,
and I've never
Megan.
I don't think I'll ever post it because I'm like, no, I'm writing this for me. And I think some of the
I was confused, Nessa. I wasn't here for it. I was confused.
Yeah, but it's nice because it's like I'm playing in like somebody else's sandbox. The rules of this world already exist. Like if I want to change things, I'm not changing like the dynamics of how everything works. I'm just like, okay, well, you know, this canon thing is going to happen later or isn't going to happen at all or stuff. And it's really nice.
Yeah. Well, if you ever want someone to read it or to edit it,
I'll just read it.
No, this one goes to my grave, I think. It's not even like bad. I think it's just because when I read back through it, I'm like, oh, this is probably one of the best things I've written. And to me, that feels bad for some reason because I'm like, I've written so much original stuff. Why can't that be the best?
Well, it's also
it's like you said, it's like, no, go ahead, Emily.
Okay. Writing fan fiction, like you're already emotionally attached to that world and those characters, so I think it's easy to really love it. And if it's your own writing, you have to like convince yourself that you love that you love these characters and that your writing does them justice, because you can have it all in your head and you can really like them in your head, but then like at least for me, they don't always come out on the page the way that I intend for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, this character is going to be charming. And I was like, fuck, he's a dick. Yeah. Sorry, Hannah, I also stepped on.
No, I'm just laughing. This is great. No, because I agree. All I've done is just write fan fiction, and I'm just like, yep, I'm going to stick with this. So, yeah, I have a beta reader for a reason. It's because my grammar sucks, and I'm like, does this make sense? I was like, oh, no. But no, that's an impressive project. Like this whole, I have learned something new today and I'm impressed, and I'm just like, nope.
Yeah. So if you don't hear from me during November, that's why.
It's because of that. Yeah.
We'll mail you some care packages.
Yeah.
Make sure you're okay.
Some coffee.
And some water.
Yeah, water
Always
is
water.
important. Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
Everybody hydrate.
Ooh, I like this question.
Ooh.
Nice. Thanks, Bryn. If you had the option, what kind of Star Wars novel would you want to write? I can't compete with Claudia Gray.
Yeah, my first thought was something like Lost Stars.
Yeah, okay. I've got to think.
Which is a bias because I love romance.
No, that's a good one. We need more romance in Star Wars. I like Lost Stars and Dark Disciple. I
did like Dark Disciple.
Those were very good. I would probably want to write something like I'm looking at my bookshelf right now. I can't look at Meg's because that's very intimidating.
I know.
I have a very tiny one right now, but like from a certain point of view, like I really like those short stories. Like I enjoy that because I can get short, sweet, to the point, and I can move on to something else, so it doesn't feel so daunting of like 500 pages. Yeah. So that's what I would like to write.
Yeah. I think that I would go kind of like following just an average person who is in either like the rebels or the resistance, or like rebellion or the resistance, just to not confuse it with the show. And just like what their training is like, the friendships they make, like any romances that they have in that time, and just see how they follow through this, however long war, and how that kind of affects them. It's more of like a sad character study. Most of the books I read.
I have to add on to mine. Sorry, I got really. I didn't realize we're getting this specific. So Megan, you made me think of something. So I still want to go with the short story thing, but I'm gonna make it all clones.
Ooh, that would be a great one.
A different clone.
That would be so interesting.
I want that.
Yeah,
I do too.
And it would mean so much because they're not just clones; they are individual people, and it would really kind of harken back to that. I love it. That's a good idea. You could probably pitch that to whatever the.
I'd be like, please
do it.
Yeah,
I'll go tweet Tom at Del Rey.
Do
it.
Do it.
I will pour blood, sweat, and tears into this.
Yeah, I mean, I would read anything about the clones. My dog's name is Rex, so. I already said Jedi Temple Space Wizard School, so I'd have to choose that.
Yes. Would it be more like a young adult novel, or like kids, kind of like a Test of Courage, or it doesn't have to be like.
I think you could do it the same way as Harry Potter and make it a series. Which is weird because I hate series. I much prefer standalone books, but I think that it would be cool to see like different, like maybe it jumps like 2 years, and so that you see them developing. Anyone ever asked me?
No, I think Nessa and I are long lost soul sisters. Apparently, we're just gonna yell. Me, Nessa, and Em can just have a roundtable discussion on clones.
Oh my god, please!
Just cry all day, please. So much crying.
What about you, Meg?
Yeah.
Well, I have it will not surprise you that I've thought about this a lot.
Yeah.
And where I'm going with it with both of them will also not surprise you. So for a long time, all I've wanted is a Bo-Katan and Satine growing up on Mandalore coming of age story. But I also know that like Dave Filoni is very protective of, his characters and his stories, and like, but also I don't care, but I want
just like
you're like, but
I also want because we're less likely to like get it. It'd be like one of those like random like just because stories, because it's not really that important to anything. But I want also a YA coming of age story of Sabine in the Imperial Academy and then leaving. Yeah, and then like her journey all the way to when she joins the Ghost Crew. I want it.
Ooh,
let me write it. I'll write it.
You're like, I'll plot it. I'll do all the work.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. If someone lets me do it, I will do it.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Great. I'm biased because I love sister stories, because my sister is like my best friend. That'd be so good. Those are all great ideas.
Corky's parents, Obi-Wan and Satine.
Oh god.
Multiple comments on this.
I love this chat.
Yeah. In the recording we did about Rey yesterday, we had talked about some of the theories that had surrounded her character like throughout the sequel trilogy. And one of them was like who her parents were, which was obviously like a big thing. And I believe it was Jason had been like, oh yeah, I thought maybe Obi-Wan or something like that. Please, if I'm wrong, sorry, Jason. And my first thought, I didn't say it, but my first thought was like, oh, Corky has a half sibling. Yeah.
Oh, we need to find Corky. I know like find Ezra is a thing, but where's Corky?
Yeah.
We need
Corky a Star Wars story.
Find Corky. The thing, I do read the Star Wars novels and I enjoy them for the most part, but I like seeing the stories and seeing like these authors like perceptions of answering questions that we've asked for years. But at the same time, the moment that it's written down, it becomes canon, and we kind of like open-ended questions too. So I think I think it was you, Meg, who said like just write it just because. Like I don't know. I wish that there was a way for like in my head and maybe this isn't fair to say, but in my head, like book canon is lower than like movie canon and TV show canon is like there's a hierarchy.
Right.
And I just have to do that because sometimes, like especially with a certain point of view book, which I did like, but at the same time, you're giving me an answer to a question that I kind of like to have open-ended too, and I kind of liked my own interpretation of what that would be.
Yeah.
And in the same sense, I think that that's probably why a lot of people don't like the sequel trilogy in some ways, because it answers questions that in a way that they didn't want them to be answered. And it is kind of nice to have open-ended questions too. I don't know, but at the same time, I like hearing what people's ideas are. That's why I like fan fiction.
No, definitely. I completely agree where it's like, yes, it's nice knowing things. That feels like such a bland statement for me to make. But there is something really kind of like freeing about getting to hear other people's ideas and build on them and be like, yeah, like we're in this big universe. Why couldn't it be like this or this or this? And then when it is written down, there's the potential for like, oh, that's a lot less exciting than I thought. And for some people, it might be like, oh, that's more exciting. It's one of those things where you can't please everyone, which like not trying to do with it, but it's nice when nothing is like not nothing, but when things aren't concrete, because then we can talk on a stream for like 3 hours about who a fictional character's fictional parents are.
And if it is something that you have spent a lot of time thinking about and like really dissecting and theorizing, like it's always going to be disappointing no matter what the answer is. That's just kind of like, it is unfortunate, but at the same time, you just have to like realize that people can't read your minds.
And that I would also love other people training. Sorry.
Oh yes, I love that part of Rise of Skywalker.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, very cool, because I'm a simple creature.
I have simple ones.
I'm not laughing at you, Mr. Bryn. Shoot, I just thought that was a funny sentence.
I agree. I am a simple creature.
We all are.
I want a warm blanket and a good book. I'm simple in that way.
Well, like, and going back to the whole fan fiction thing, like, there's some that I'm like, these are whole fucking novels. Like, I'm reading two right now that these people are updating weekly. Like, I struggling doing that. But they're 40 chapters at this point, and they're not stopping. And I'm like, sweet mother Jesus. I need oh my God, I need this. I want this now. Sorry, I'm like a squirrel. Like when these things pop up, like that's the only thing I could focus on for about 2 minutes.
I would love a Darth Maul journal. Oh, I'm just imagining like,
oh my God, it would.
I'm gonna butcher his.
He would write a journal.
Dear diary.
Okay,
Obi-Wan leads me again.
Kind of got that. Well, we kind of got it with his with the what was it, the Clone Wars thing where like Sam Witwer like narrated like his own version of events. It was dramatic as fuck, but also really creepy. But it also could just be because I was listening to it in a dark room and I was trying to fall asleep, and I'm like, this is a terrible idea. I'm very scared right now. But yeah, it would be dramatic as fuck. You'd have a whole page. Have you guys ever read the Folk of the Air series?
Yes.
Holly Black. Okay.
Yeah, like Jude.
Yes. Okay, so the character, the protagonist, the antagonist, basically have a love-hate relationship, and the protagonist finds the antagonist's journal, and it's just this whole page of him writing her name over and over. That would be Maul with Kenobi. Like just over and over and over. Went leg shopping. Oh my God! Chopper could steal his legs for him. I want Chopper stealing Maul's legs and running around with them.
Something I thought with like, what would his journal be like when he had the spider legs? Would he be like, dear journal, like cons, I'm missing the lower half of my body. Pros, I can run 4 times as fast with this many legs. And then at the end, it's just like, Obi-Wan eludes me once. That's how he signs off.
I want you to narrate this.
You do have a good storytelling voice, Megan.
Dude, this is fantastic.
Thank you.
We killed Meg, I think.
Did someone say Cardin? Eye emoji? Yes.
You did.
My favorite part about like probably that whole book is the like Jude, and then Jude's like, he hates me. And I'm like,
yes.
I'm like, honey, I don't think he hates you.
No, he really doesn't.
Yeah.
He really doesn't. Oh my god. Yes, I need this journal. Somebody please write it.
Yeah.
Somebody start some fan fiction on it. I don't even care. I'd read it.
Yeah.
The other thing with Star Wars stories, I'm going back to this debate in my mind, like with not only the books but the movies too, is you have so many different authors and like the rights have, it's Disney bought it, and so it's been in a lot of different hands, and so you do see a lot of different like opinions and interpretations, which is really cool. But I'm also, I don't know if any of you guys watch Attack on Titan. I've been a fan for a few years, and Attack on Titan is, I think, just so good storytelling because you can tell that everything was planned out from the beginning, and it you don't learn the answers until you're already like way into the story and invested, and the payoff is really good, but you have to wait a long time to get there. But it's such a cohesive story, and I think since we do have so many different interpretations, like we miss out on that when the story isn't totally planned out from the beginning. But I mean, it's good to have a lot of different voices and interpretations too. So again, I see both sides. I don't know.
Yeah. It's one of those things where there's no like right way to write pun. There's no right way to write a series this big or like a saga this big, because you want those different perspectives, but at the same time, if you don't leave it in the hands of like one story group or one person, there's going to be a lot of variation, even if it's unintentional, even if it's like what could be considered a throwaway line. There's a chance that someone will take that and be like, well, that contradicts that. And like, I've done that heaps of times. It's not me like trying to bash on anyone. Like, I will definitely be like, is that a plot hole? Like, wake up in the middle of the night and ask myself.
A cold sweat.
Yeah, just like but yeah, I agree. And I still haven't read any of the High Republic because I think they did like a story group for that, didn't they?
Yeah, I finished the first one. The first one's really good. I haven't read Into the Dark yet, though.
That's going to be interesting because I'm wondering if it's going to play into your thing, Emily, and your thing, Megan, about a cohesive storyline. Because, and this is just based off of everything I've seen in interviews and like anything that they've talked about, but it sounds incredibly planned out. The most that I think we've ever seen in any sort of medium for Star Wars up to this point since the Disney buy. And you can interpret that how you will, but I don't know. I'm interested just to see if that's going to be a thing.
Yeah. As much as I like love the sequel trilogy, I definitely think that the planning could have been a bit better. And I feel like the High Republic is kind of in response to that, because I think they've made a big point of showing like, look, we have all these people who have like been collaborative through the entire process. Look, we have a big whiteboard that's got all these different columns and like we've been writing on it. I think the press around that has kind of been in response to people being like, well, I don't think the sequel trilogy was planned out as it should be for something of that, like that big of an IP. Yeah.
And I mean, with the sequel trilogy, you can make the argument for or against that opinion, but overall the general consensus was whether or not the lack of planning that seemed to be going on.
It doesn't seem like it. But at the same time, I kind of like.
I'm trying to be in the middle on this. I'm trying to be the Bendu here on this.
No, like I definitely see like both parts of that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. I don't think it's like they didn't plan anything. Like they clearly did. It's just, I think, switching to different writers and different directors, even if you do switch back at a point, there's going to be some type of like creative non-cohesiveness. And like that's just how it is. Like it's nobody's fault. That's just how it is.
In a way, I always think of Star Wars as like the Greek mythology of our time, where like well, all mythologies, Norse mythology, you have like stories that everyone knows, but you do have different versions of those stories, like different versions of how Thor got his hammer and things like that. And I think especially with what's canon and what's legends and everything in the EU, you kind of start to do that with a lot of people telling their own versions of the story, and maybe the story changes depending on who's telling it and when. And I don't know, it's kind of cool that we're kind of building our own. Does this sound weird? Like we're kind of building our own mythology in a way. Like we don't believe in it like it's ever fact or true, but it is something that a lot, like probably thousands, millions of fans are invested in this story. And yeah, I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, I'm with that, because like you have, and I went through a mythology phase when I was younger. Percy Jackson, anybody? But yeah, I agree with that, because like you have like, and the two that are coming to mind, like you said, are the Greek, but then Roman mythology, like they're very much parallel to the other while also crossing each other in a lot of ways. Sometimes it's just the names that change, sometimes it's a small detail here and there, but overall it's a continuation of the same story. So just interpreted differently.
Yeah. And especially since like the opening of Star Wars is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, it kind of like builds up that mythos that this is like a story that we're telling, but it makes sense that not all of the details line up exactly. It makes sense that it is kind of like something we're getting secondhand or third hand, or like being told from our ancestors.
Yeah, passed down from generations by the mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, around the fire kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I like that.
I've been getting this like sorry, I'm getting it right now. I've been getting this gnarly pain like here. And it's because like my muscles are relaxing to make room for all my organs, because like I'm, as I've mentioned before, I'm like 21 weeks pregnant, and I asked my midwife the other day about it, and he was like, yeah, it's your ribs opening up to make room, it like a jaw. He's like a snake's jaw opening.
Oh my goodness.
And now anytime I feel it, I just think like snake's jaw. And now I had to poison all of your minds with that as well. It's disgusting.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I don't have kids, and I'm on the fence, and so some things make me on one more side of the fence.
You're making a great case here. Yep. Making a great case here, Megan.
Yeah, I feel bad because like quite a few of my friends are like also pregnant right now, and nearly all of them are having a shit time as well. And yeah, I think we've convinced like 3 women in our book club not to have kids just through talking about like I'm throwing up all the time. Like my ribs are further apart than they were. Like my husband kind of did that to me, and he was like, ooh. Which is always something you want your significant other to do when they touch you. Yeah, he was like, ew, a bit of room there. Yeah, but to bring it back to Star Wars, I got a package from my mom this week, which was filled with like Star Wars themed baby clothes and bibs. Which is very sweet. And also cosmic brownies, which are not related to Star Wars, but they are my favorite grocery store snack. So that was very nice.
That's a good choice. Very good choice.
I wonder if they have cosmic brownies in the Star Wars universe, and do they call them cosmic brownies? Because that would be a little too on the nose. That would be too on the nose, yeah.
What would be their equivalent? Like dirt? No, not dirt. Like
wow, tell us
like
how you really feel about
like instead of looking up, they're looking down. So like gemstone brownies.
Ooh, oh my god, yeah.
There's Star Wars
when you put it like that. Surely there has to be, or like a gas station.
I don't know if there's pilots around the Star Wars galaxy. I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't think somebody's missing out on a really lucrative opportunity. Hondo, where are you?
Yeah. They have surely they have like fuel stations, right?
Yeah, they would have.
But they all the ones we've seen all seem to be like individually owned. Like they kind of make their own prices and stuff.
Yeah, it's not like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I just think of Dex's Diner.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it.
That needs to be a chain across the galaxy.
Yeah, good family-owned business. What chain restaurant would you put into Star Wars? Because I think I'd put Applebee's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but it feels.
I gotta think of
Applebee's is one of those places that, like, anytime I've been in one, I feel so disconnected from reality.
Yeah, it is kind of
yeah, and like that's not me shitting on Applebee's because they do really good mozzarella sticks. But it's like it's one of those things where I'm in between dimensions when I'm in one. I'm at the crossroads.
It's because it's always so dark in there, and like the seating. I don't know. I feel you though. I understand.
Yeah, someone's always having a birthday. It's like how is someone always having a birthday when I'm here?
Man, I miss restaurants. I have not been inside one in a year.
Oh man.
I was talking to my husband about this earlier today about how like the thing I miss most is like fountain drinks at a restaurant in a glass with a straw. Like for some reason soda just tastes better.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Pepper. Oh man, I would go for like a Dr. Pepper brought to me in a glass from a fountain.
Yeah. I kind of mine's slightly along that line, but it's an alcoholic version. No, it's not an alcoholic version of Dr. Pepper. I just miss like going to bars. Like I'm literally the least social person in the world. But like I miss going to bars with friends and just being like, let's play a game of pool while our beers are just sitting here on the pool table. And good luck to us. I miss that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. We're not doing a Denny's because every time we would stop, somebody would get into a fight. And we can't afford that.
We want
we'd be banned from every Denny's. No. Is that really a thing?
I think it is.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
They've said it with such confidence, or typed it with such confidence that I believe them.
It tastes better.
Okay.
And it might also be a thing like your food tastes better when someone else prepares it because when you prepare it, you get like acclimated to the smell. Not that like sodas have smell. Maybe this isn't a good comparison.
It's okay. Well, I know that like McDonald's has whiter straws because it's like scientifically proven to give you like either more flavor or more. I don't drink soda, so I'm going to say texture, but I think that's not the right word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super thing. Wow. Cool.
Okay.
The more we know.
Also,
like all sorts of things.
Movie theater popcorn and soda. Movie. I always get Mr. Pibb, and I get the big one, and cookie dough bites.
Cookie dough bites are so good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I usually,
bites in the other. I don't care what's on the screen. I just want this experience.
Yeah. I have seen so many movies that I'm not super interested in because I just love the experience of going to a movie, and I can't wait to get that back. Like where I live, movie theaters are open again, but they're on like really limited timing. And also there's not heaps of good movies out right now. And I do want to have some interest in it.
Yeah. Like I would have seen Raya and the Last Dragon, but I'm not vaccinated. No one in my family is vaccinated.
No.
I work from home and I'm young, so I'm like the last person qualified to get a vaccine. Sadly, I started having dreams about it though. Like I want to cut my hair so bad.
I don't think I can get vaccinated for at least another year because
I was about to say with the baby.
Yeah, when I was talking to my midwife, they were like, because you don't live in a high risk area, because I think the state I live in hasn't had a case in like 6 months now or something. Like it's been quite a long time. They're like, we don't recommend it because you're not in a high risk area and we don't know how it will affect anything yet. Like there's not a lot of research on it because it just hasn't been the opportunity. And also when you're breastfeeding, we don't recommend it because we're not sure.
That makes sense.
Damn it. Because my husband just got his first shot and I'm jealous. Yeah, I'm just like, And my mom and my sister back in the States have both gotten their first shots and are about to get their second. Which is nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, my little ghost tattoo is just peeking over. I just noticed it. His name is Hector.
Oh my god, that's so cute. Hi, Hector.
Yes.
Oh my god, I love that. Oh man.
It seems like the comment section also misses movie theaters.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the title of the stream is Cast or Recast a Character.
And now we're like,
we're doing that, aren't we? And then we'll do the Star Wars characters that can cook one.
And then we'll do the cooking.
Yeah, we just all needed to stare off for a second.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Charlize as Ventress, yeah.
And then Megan came back, and then we got distracted. And
looping it back around. So I said in our Discord, I always think of Zendaya as like 20-something Ahsoka, because I think like her facial features are very similar, her jawline, and I feel like Ahsoka is very acrobatic, and I think that Zendaya could pull that off. And yeah, I don't know. Although Zendaya gets a lot of parts, so maybe I should go to someone who is more unknown, because she gets everything these days. Not that she's not, I mean, she's deserving.
Yeah. No, she's definitely like, she's a great actress. Anything I've seen her in, I've been like, wow, you're so good. Because I remember watching her on Disney Channel. I think it was Disney. Maybe it was Nick.
Mm-hmm. I think it was like
Disney. It was like, Shake It Up.
It was after my Disney time, but I think
sorry. I would cast this one. I feel like it's in the in-between of casting and recasting, because I think there's a lot of speculation that this person is being cast as this character, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. And I Googled it this morning and it still hasn't been confirmed. The guy who played Aladdin in the live-action Aladdin as Ezra, I think he would do great. Oh, I have his name in my phone. So that I can properly say it. Literally, my last Google was who played Aladdin. Mena Masad. Apologies if I have pronounced that wrong, but I think that he would do a good job, and I think he also looks like Ezra could look in his like 20s. I would guess that if they were to cast him, it would be in his 20s.
It would be cool to see older Ezra.
Yeah, like, what's he up to? And you'd probably get thrown out of that, Hannah. If we're seeing an older Ezra, because he's got to be somewhere with someone.
I'm just here for it. Good quality casting. That's all I want.
And then I don't know who I would recast, because I think for the most part, I don't know. All the characters are so tied to their actors for me that I'm like, oh yeah, I can't imagine anybody else playing like Anakin or Rey or Kylo or Finn or Poe or any. I could just keep naming characters. I can't imagine it.
Yeah
that's a really hard one.
I wouldn't recast per se, but if they were to do like a flashback of young Padme, or even young Leia, I think Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
I've not seen Stranger Things, so I don't know how great of an actress she is. I think she's probably pretty good from how popular that show was, but she looks physically so much like a combination of Padme and Leia, and she I think is like 16 years old, so she's at the right age to play like a younger.
Yeah.
I don't know like story-wise how that would fit in, but I think it would be really cool.
Be a great. Yeah. Be a good one. Yeah, I don't think I could recast anybody. It's too hard.
Yeah.
Is there a cat meowing somewhere?
I hear a cat.
That's mine. I'm sorry.
No, I miss my cat. We don't get our pets back until
I
next
lock
week,
them up
so
because
I'm
they keep running. They run across my keyboard, and you guys get cat butt like 98% of the time.
We love it.
We want cat butt.
Fine, I'll go get cat butt. We've got 30 minutes.
I thought I would hate the actor for you on Solo. Kira. Yeah, I agree as Kira. Like, I love Emilia Clarke. Like she is a great actress. Like, I watched Game of Thrones and loved her as Daenerys, but as Kira, I think something was missing there. I don't know if it was the script or just not the right person or the directing. I don't know, but I would agree on that one.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Something that puts Oscar Isaac and Pedro on the same timeline.
Oh my god.
I might spontaneously combust. I'm not gonna lie.
She's angry because she didn't get to be on the stream tonight.
No, they're both fighting each other because they're
no.
Literal
so
cat
stupid.
fight. Oh, Diego,
They're stupid.
I wish those timelines matched up.
Yeah.
I agree about Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
I feel like in a way it's unfair just to cast on looks, but he looks so much like Luke. That I honestly thought it was Sebastian Stan and they had just like CGI'd some parts of him when I saw it, but apparently that wasn't it.
Who would play Hondo? It's too. Oh God, what was his name?
Are you talking about the person who played him?
No, it's too bad that they already cast this guy as DJ in The Last Jedi. I know. Google it, but where would the fun be in that? No, I am going to Google it. I'm going to see his name, and then I'm going to be like,
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, because I feel like he just has that charisma. Thank you, everyone. He has that charisma about him.
Yeah.
And
he does.
I think he would do good. It's one of those things where because he would be like a full character makeup,
the prosthetics,
full prosthetic actor. You could kind of cast anyone, but I think there is really got that.
There's
charisma.
Such a specific energy, flamboyance that Hondo has. That would be so cool to see in live.
I would love that. That'd be so much fun.
I got really excited when I saw his animatronic at Galaxy's Edge.
Oh my god, I did too. I was like, Hondo!
Yeah. He's like, oh, look at him, he's doing the arm things.
And my aunt was with me and she's like, who the fuck is that? And I'm like, hold on. I must tell you this story.
Oh yeah, who played Davy Jones? Davy Jones? Right. But also the other guy too.
Bill Nye. He did that.
Yeah.
Davy Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean. Bill Nighy.
Yeah.
But also all the pirates in that movie.
Oh yeah,
Barbossa. That's what I'm trying to think of. Barbossa also kind of has a similar energy too.
Oh yeah,
Barbossa.
Such a good movie.
Jeffrey Rush.
James McAvoy. I don't know who.
Sasha Dawn.
I don't look at that.
For a second, I thought you said James McAvoy sucks, and I wasn't paying attention.
Nope, did not.
But no, you said Sasha.
I would be too afraid to bash James McAvoy anywhere.
Oh, okay. I recognize.
He seems like a fine dude. I don't know anything about him other than I've seen him act in a few things, and he was good in those.
I've never seen any of his stuff, so I'm gonna have to check that out. I believe you, Yahtzee. Huh? Okay.
I'm so bad at actors' names. I'm just like,
yeah.
This is really
and like I know your face.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh yeah.
What are some characters that we haven't seen? Like obviously Thrawn. We've talked about casting Thrawn before.
Yeah.
Young Luke and Obi-Wan if they do.
Oh, that's a great question.
I'd like an unknown for that one, kind of like what they did with Stranger Things, and just finding like a kind of like, and even what they did with Anakin in The Phantom Menace. That's just my opinion. Just finding like an unknown to play this iconic character, because they're not coming into it with all this baggage that an adult or a teen character would have. So that's just my opinion. Somebody can jump in.
Yeah, I feel like I can't think of any child actors right now, except for like the kid who played the kid in Room. I'm not even sure how old he is now. I think it's like Jacob Tremblay or Tremblay.
Oh yeah, Jacob Tremblay.
Yeah, who was very good in that. I don't think that he would necessarily like be a good Luke. That's just the only child actor I can think of. But I hope that there are bits of like young Luke. I don't necessarily hope that they have like big focus on him, whether it's just like kind of in the distance and we get like a little close-up shot of him like playing with his little ship or something. Like, I hope we get to see him be a kid from a distance and like hopefully be enjoying his time with his aunt and uncle.
Yeah, playing with womp rats, like a flash of blonde hair.
Oh, I do like this question. Do you think the Obi-Wan show will show stuff that's happening elsewhere in the galaxy too, or keep a tight focus on Obi-Wan?
I think it's gotta focus on. I mean, you've heard my theory about it bringing in like the Tusken Raiders and maybe having a romance with them. This is really far fetched. But I think it has to talk about more than just Tatooine. Like, that would be really it would be hard.
And I might
do.
Yeah. There's only so much you can do in the desert besides push-ups. Yeah, show Vader's adventures too. I think it'd be interesting to kind of see like both of them a little bit to some point, and then somehow there's like I'm just going to be dramatic here, the collision course between the two of them, because I mean we've already heard and hinted that they're gonna meet at some point, be it in a dream, a vision, something's gonna happen. But I also I vote push-ups, but I also think, and this is just me speculating based off of what we've heard like Ewan say and kind of like the hints that we've gotten up to this point. I try to stay away from spoilers as much as I can, if I can. But I think we're going to see what's going on at the galaxy at large, and maybe Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine for a little bit to be involved in that in some way. But I think the entire focus is still going to be on Obi-Wan as a whole.
Yeah, I think the focus will be on Obi-Wan as a whole. And I think it will even be on Obi-Wan protecting Luke. Like, that is going to be the focus. But I think that in doing so, that he might have to leave Tatooine to protect Luke.
Yeah.
I'm still on the pain train of Cody hunting him down.
Oh, no, stop.
I hope we get flashbacks. Like, I hope we get quite a few flashbacks to Obi-Wan's life, and maybe seeing just like bits of his time in the Jedi Order. This is definitely me being like, and then maybe Satine can be somewhere in those flashbacks. But yeah, I think that it will probably focus more on what he is going through personally. Like, maybe more of, I'll say, WandaVision, just in the sense of like a more emotionally driven show than like an external influence driven show. Who should be Satine? I have no idea.
Oh, Cate Blanchett.
Oh shit, Cate Blanchett. I've changed my mind. I have one idea.
Like, one brain cell says Cate Blanchett.
Like, head full one thought. Cate Blanchett.
Like, they look identical.
They do.
Yahtzee, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do it. The Qui-Gon doesn't appear as a force. I don't think he'll appear as a Force ghost, but I think we'll hear his voice. Like, I think it'll be his voice.
Yeah. I just want Liam Neeson back. Oh my god, sorry, the cats.
I would actually love if Luke and Bale like have some type of relationship. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, because it's like, oh, that could be dangerous kind of thing. But I don't know if Anakin knows up until, like the end of Return of the Jedi that Padme had twins. I think he thinks there's like one kid out there.
Yeah, I don't think he knows. Well, I mean, he doesn't know that any kids were involved.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he knew that she was pregnant. Okay.
But he, like, it doesn't sound like Palpatine was like, oh yeah, in your anger you killed her, but not before she had 2 healthy babies who are now living.
Left that one out.
Yeah. Classic Palpatine, just leaving out important bits of information.
Meg, you're having an epiphany. I'm watching your face, and you just had this moment.
Don't worry about it. You said something that just triggered something in my don't worry
on slimy.
Oh my god.
Yes, Corky is the love child. That's why we're #find Corky.
Yeah. Maybe Obi-Wan will just go like full 180 on what we expected, instead of like protecting Luke. He's like, I'm gonna find my son.
My son.
Oh my god.
I think Uncle O.
Stop this little shit.
What is happening?
I don't
No,
I think I've had too much to drink.
I do find it so funny that they're like two twins. One shall go to be the princess of this planet, and the other one will be Sandman. Off in the desert with you, boy.
Is their favorite child or what? Already.
My God.
They're just like, here you go. Have fun on the moisture farm. Leia, how's it going up in Royalty Castle? Yeah, exactly. He's like, just from like a t-shirt cannon. They're just like, goodbye, Luke. I'm not convinced that they even stopped to drop him off. I think they put him in a pod and dropped him out of the ship.
Yeah, that'd be interesting because Owen and Beru aren't very old when they get Luke as a baby. Like
no,
what? They're
but they sure age. I think Luke makes
they
it.
Luke, it's the Tatooine sand.
Yeah,
it's the Tatooine sand ages everybody.
Imagine someone showing up at your house and being like, "Hi," because did Owen and Obi-Wan meet in Attack of the Clones, or was it just Anakin and Padme?
It was just Anakin and Padme.
Imagine a literal stranger. He's doing a reverse Jedi order. It's a Jedi coming to give you a baby.
We have come full circle in this conversation today.
Yeah, he's like, this is going to be really hard to explain.
I mean, at least it's not on a doorstep like Dumbledore. And
yeah.
Oh, that is true with a note. Yeah.
Yeah, I have
but
some
then
very
you also get
opinions
the thing of like, here's this child. He can't know anything about his family, and you might die. Like people might come hunt you down. Like that's very.
It is
stressful.
such a poor plan. Like, why don't what?
Yeah.
Anakin knew she was pregnant. You would think he would check with his.
Yeah, you think he'd
like scope out his relatives. Like, oh, if there's a baby, it's probably there. Again, Yoda. This is Yoda's decision.
Yeah.
Not a lot going on. I'm sorry. I know.
Luke's dumbass sons would have ears. Everyone's face.
Cat in the sand.
Yeah.
Reach Obi-Wan to commune with Force spirits. It's not unrealistic expectation. Yeah. We never said Anakin was smart.
Yeah, Rachel, bold of us to assume Anakin has 2 brain cells to rub together, especially after that fire. Like,
that's so mean.
He did kill a bunch of kids. I'm gonna be mean to Anakin.
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah,
please do.
Don't get me wrong. I find Anakin a very like compelling, interesting, and tragic character. But at the same time, I'm like, use your head.
The life decisions, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I think Anakin he's like top 5 character. Like I really love Anakin's character, but he has a lot of flaws.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, perfect characters are rarely interesting.
Yeah, he's
very. So I'll give him that.
Very impulsive.
Yeah.
But you know, he doesn't put a lot of things together, nor does the Jedi who raised him.
No.
Jedi, like, I think I feel something dark. It's close. It's in Coruscant. Like, there's a dark energy surrounding the Chancellor. What could it be?
They're like, the Chancellor must be in danger, and Palpatine's like, yes, that thing.
You know, I think Obi-Wan does have more brain cells, but I think, yeah. I think Obi-Wan at least can. I think Obi-Wan can see 2 steps ahead, but Anakin can only see 1 step behind. He's very reactionary. He's like, well, this has happened, so now I'm doing this. And Obi-Wan's like, okay, well, if I do this, this and this will happen, but not necessarily anything past that. He's like, oh, you know, if Anakin falls to the dark side and Padme dies, we'll give his kids away, which is like, I'm not disputing that as a good choice. Like, I think it was a good choice to hide them, but just the method of the hiding, I think could have done a bit more R&D. It does go back to the Jedi teaching of thinking in the moment. Like they're both good at thinking on their feet, like dealing with the present moment. So in a way, like that is how they were taught, and they do it well. But when it comes to like strategic planning, like I'm so surprised that Jedi are generals of this army, because could they win at chess? I don't know. I don't think they could like.
My money is on any of the clones beating their butts in chess any day.
Yeah, those poor clones. They're like, oh man, I have to work under this guy.
I'm just imagining last year my therapist gave me this like worksheet that was basically like, hey, here are some like, it helps with goal setting, like what's something that you want to accomplish in a month, what's something you want to accomplish in a year, and what's something you want to accomplish in 5 years. And then COVID happened, so I just crossed out that year for all of them. But I'm imagining like a therapist giving that to Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then being like, a month we're gonna do this, and leaving the rest blank, and being like, just giving it back.
If they had therapy in the Jedi Temple, none of this would have happened. Yep. They had an on-staff therapist.
Counselor.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. They have a librarian. Not a therapist.
Yeah.
You say Obi-Wan was also a young parent? Yeah.
True.
That is very true. Because he was 19, 22? Sorry, I know that's a bit of a gap. At the end of The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I always forget how old he is.
Yeah, he was young. 22-ish, yeah. That was just my guess. Yeah, that'd be a lot. Yeah. Here's a 9-year-old.
Oh god.
Keep him alive.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Corky again.
No.
I was like, oh, he didn't really raise Corky. But no, he was, yeah. I totally forgot about that.
God. Yoda was Anakin's therapist. Oh, that didn't go well though.
Yeah.
Emily has some thoughts on this.
Yeah. It all comes back around to Yoda.
It's all Yoda's fault.
Man, I
can't wait.
We have to do an episode on Yoda, and I'm gonna like write a thesis beforehand and be like, okay, point what?
Oh,
I'm imagining you doing like a serial style podcast on how much you hate Yoda.
Like I
want to hear how Yoda fucked it up during the High Republic from your opinion. I cannot wait for the High Republic to be done, and it's all still Yoda's fault.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised he's still so like revered during High Republic. Like,
is he alive in High Republic? Sorry, I haven't read any of it.
It's only 200 years before episode 1.
Yeah.
So for some reason I thought it was like 1,000 years before. But no, okay, that makes way more sense. That's why I was so surprised. I was like, how old is this man?
Well, because by Empire, he was what, like 900 years old when you look, or something like that. Mm-hmm. So
I think it's something like that. Yeah,
he'd be what, close to 700 during High Republic. 650, 700.
I wonder when Grogu will start talking.
I know, right? I'm so surprised that, like, I've talked about this before, but it does seem like Grogu has aged a lot since we saw him, but didn't age a lot in the first 50 years of his life.
Yeah. Maybe he's hitting his growth spurt. The next 50 years will be him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess humans are like that too. The first year, they still look kind of the same, but between 1 and 2, they start like moving around more.
Yeah. I think so.
What do you want Grogu's first word to be?
Dad.
Hungry.
I'm hungry.
It'll probably be like egg.
I mean, it would be cute if it was dad, but I don't think it would be, because I don't think that he would be taught that word.
No.
Oh yeah. He's getting his Jedi teachings. Point. I don't like that.
No, like even if he's with Mando, I don't think that he would be taught like I'm your dad. He's like, Mando wouldn't say I'm your dad.
No.
Become swolgry. I wasn't expecting that. Oh my god.
I love it.
Beer. Oh, I do like beer. I want them to bring Mandoa back into canon, so I'm with Nessa on this.
Yes.
I'm just imagining Grogu the same height, but like
his first one would be
like a bodybuilder.
He's like
no neck, all shoulder.
Yeah, would he speak like Yoda?
I'm so confused.
But he's not raised in the same culture as Yoda, so would he still speak the same?
Yeah, because wasn't the thing, I don't know, is this canon or not, but the reason why Yoda speaks the way he does is because of how what he grew up in like 900 years ago, and that affected his speech patterns. So in theory, Grogu would speak like we do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be weird.
I like that.
But I feel
I know
like
that's gonna throw me.
I think that's one thing that they would have him speak like Yoda, just because he looks like Yoda. Like I don't know if like they might realize that it doesn't make sense, but just do it because the wider fandom, like everyone knows how Yoda speaks. Like everyone knows how Yoda speaks. So I think they might still do it that way just because.
I wonder if on the flip side of that, in this last season, I feel like there was more of a point to be like, no, this is not Baby Yoda. This is Grogu. This is like separate. So I wonder if they might have him speak normally to be like, this is a completely different character. They just look very similar.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. 8 minutes. Oh, Rachel's gonna cut us off.
She's like, I will shut this shit down.
Yeah, she's like, none of this, just chatting forever shit.
I would like, you mentioned, I think, Hannah, you mentioned Cody in the Obi-Wan show, and I would like to see something about what happens to the clones when they become too old. I mean, we talked about this a little bit, but how they're discarded, or how they're retired, or how they're...
The word decommissioned has been used more than once, and I'm not here for it.
I would like something that explores that a little bit more.
Yeah, either that or in the Bad Batch, because I mean, we had talked about that before. Like, we're not sure how far this is going to go, so we might see what happens to them. I'm very interested to see that. I'm also interested to see. I'm hoping I'm sure they're going to put this in there, but I'm not going to hold it to any expectation. But how Wolf, Gregor, and Rex get to where they are in Rebels.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that'd be hilarious.
I didn't know that I know nothing about Knights of the Old Republic.
I didn't.
It's a video game, right? Is it a video game?
Or I think it's also a book. I think it's a book series as well.
Okay. Yeah. I think I would like it. One, I'm not a gamer at all, so that's why I never got into that time in the series. But I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Are you yelling at your cat?
Yes, I am.
Hannah and Nessa are gonna go meet up in a Denny's.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great conversation. We're gonna probably cry about like everything. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great conversation.
Bonding.
Yeah, it really does. Just shared misery.
Yeah, it's
shared commiseration. No, that's good. I like that. I don't know. So many speculations. All right, we've got. My clock says 5 minutes. 5 minutes cooking in Star Wars. I really want this question answered.
Ooh. Oh god.
Like, who would be the best cook? Like, if there was a cooking show, who would win, and then who would burn down the kitchen on accident?
Dex would win. Ray would lose.
I
Dex
like this.
Dex is the only one we've seen cook. I think.
I love Dex. I don't know, something about that scene I just find so endearing. And yeah, my vote's on Dex, and also like I don't know. He seems like he would be an underdog, but come out strong. And Ray, we see her like put some water in it. Yeah, I am Ray.
I was like going to think about it because I think Ray can't cook worth shit. I feel like my brain for some reason says Poe cooks really well. Like if we're going like outside of like Dex and Ray. My brain's like, I think Poe could cook really well. Yeah. And then, of course, my brain goes to, I think the clones would burn the kitchen down. Because you think about, they just eat military rations. Like, I don't think they've ever had a meal that wasn't made for them in their life.
Oh, my God.
So I think they would burn the kitchen down. Or Din. I don't think Din knows how to cook either.
Yeah. They just eat weird stuff. Oh, about how Anakin can cook. And yeah, I just think about that scene where he like floats the pear towards her.
Oh, he didn't even cut the pear right, damn it.
Yeah. And she's like, all right.
True, Ray does make bread in 5 seconds, and it takes me 24 hours. So
that is true.
She does have one up on me.
What?
Master Chef. Yes, chef. Yoda's root soup. Oh my god, I love you guys. Keep them coming. This is great.
Oh,
I think that Kanan would be a good cook.
I have blocked that out.
It's just like a spice rack in the Falcon that he has access to. Yeah, I feel like Kanan would be the cook out of like the Rebels crew.
I can see that.
Yeah. Like
yeah.
Hera's flying the ghost. Zeb would get hair in the food. Ezra, I don't trust him with anything.
Chopper would try to burn the kitchen down.
Yeah. And then Sabine, I think maybe she would be like sous chef. I feel like that'd be a good bonding time for them.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so cute.
It is cute. Where do they get their food? Is there a kitchen there?
I mean, they had to go steal Melu runs, so I'm sure they just borrowed it illegally.
R2 can heat things up.
Yeah, I do believe headcanon that R2D2 is just like a really smart microwave that can roll. He's like beep 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 beep. Maybe it's because my microwave makes beep noises when it's done in like a fun kind of more like Super Mario. It's like beep 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 beep. I'm like, hey, little robot. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it. Oh,
no regrets. I'm fully committed to that theory now, even though I thought of it a second ago. In the Millennium Falcon, Han built Leia a kitchen after they got married. Seriously.
And she made him cook in it.
I know. Yeah. I love the idea that she's like, yeah, I'm from royalty. I've never cooked a day in my life.
I do love that. That's so cute. I'm gonna find
that is like a really cute idea, though.
That's super cute.
Yeah.
And she's like, you eat stale bread. Like, this is not a meal.
Yeah. Oh, we've got 1 minute.
Well, Rachel said BRB.
Rachel disappeared for a minute.
Oh, never mind.
There's a gonk droid question, Megan.
Megan.
Gonk droids are Megan's thing.
Panini press? I like the only reason I'm not wearing my gonk droid shirt is because I had to like rush from pajamas to some outfit in the 2 minutes until we run downstairs. I think a gonk droid would make a fantastic panini press. I'm imagining them opening at the middle bit. Or they would make like trying to think. I feel like they would also make a good microwave because they've got the front bit, which I feel like you could easily convert to like a pull down door and put something in. Maybe it's like in Spy Kids when they put the little puck in and it comes out as a full McDonald's meal. A gonk droid could do that.
I had totally forgotten about Spy Kids. Oh my god!
Yes.
I love your wealth of like old Disney.
We have to cross at least 3 franchises per conversation we all have together.
I'm just like I'm a like dice shaker of late 90s, early 2000s media.
Oh my god!
And anything that I conceptualize has to be through one of those lenses, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm like Spy Kids. Gonk droids are no mobile toaster ovens. Yes. Imagine cooking a Pop-Tart in a gonk droid. The dream.
That would be amazing. Space waffles. Space waffles and a gonk droid. That's how Mando heats up Grogu's chicken nuggets. Yes, with a gonk droid.
This conversation, I am very concerned about all the nutrition now because we only see them eat like little bars. Maybe they've just optimized like.
I think that's what it is.
Like food is no longer our main concern.
Because don't Jedi have like that little thing on their belt that has like food pellets? That might not be canon anymore.
There's something like that in Clone Wars.
Yeah. Food in Star Wars is now getting up there with me wanting to see a bathroom in Star Wars.
Oh,
I gotta know. I mean, I don't want to see somebody use a bathroom in Star Wars.
I've never thought. How does
Mando has a toilet in the Razor Crest. I think that was in a visual guide. Or like they took a picture of it when they were filming season 2. It's just right in the middle of everywhere. And I'm like, the ship's helmed by a dude.
What do they do with the waste?
Yeah, do they just
maybe it's like an airplane.
Maybe there's a way to like purify it. They've also optimized that.
Yeah. Maybe like I want to know what the bath shower situation is like as well. I don't know why, but like this is a hill I'll die on.
They're like Stephanie Meyer's vampires. They just don't need showers. Don't sweat.
Yeah. Oh my god, sorry, I'm bringing back to Harry Potter for a second. Do you guys remember when J.K. Rowling was like, yeah, wizards used to just shit themselves and then like abracadabra it away?
Oh my god.
Wow.
Although I love how wizards are just so incompetent about something. Like they're so smart but also so dumb.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to just do like a House Hunters of, I think we've talked about this before, even a House Hunters of Star Wars, and then be like, oh, this is like a 3-bed, 2-bath in like Coruscant's Light District or whatever. And then yeah, their IKEA district or something. I don't know. I don't live in a city. And then go through a tour of a house. Will somebody make this for me?
I've been watching a lot of House Hunters lately because of this podcast.
Great show.
Because Jason mentioned it too. In an episode, he mentioned International House Hunters. I'm like, I need to watch that.
Somebody has asked, are freshers still canon? And I don't know.
I
don't know if they're still canon.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it that they just don't call them that anymore?
Yeah, I think they just don't call them that anymore. And I don't think there's like a reason. But it's like something that people get mad about, and the editors are just like, it is what it is. I don't know the story behind that, but
yeah, I'm gonna ask the person with the giant bookshelf because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I will defer to you on that one.
Are there some things that they just don't have the rights to? I mean, I know they bought the rights, but are like some things that originated by certain authors that they can't use.
That's
that
a
term?
good question. That might have something to do with it.
That is a good question. I wonder if that's because right now my wires are getting crossed because you guys know it, but for anybody who's in the chat, I'm in the middle of reading the Republic Commando books, which are now legend. So like the word refresher and like all of this stuff is still in there, and I'm just like, oh god, this isn't in canon? It's that with my fan fiction.
I'm gonna message Tom and ask him.
Okay, ask him about that. I'm interested to know.
I'm going to right now.
Yeah.
Right this second.
Bathrooms.
Another thing I needed to ask.
Like I would think that would be why they said like Wayfinder instead of Holocron, but we see they do use Holocron in Rebels, which has been after Disney purchases. So.
Oh, I have a whole thing about the difference between the two. Don't get me started.
That can be next
You
week.
can tell me in our Discord.
I one time on a podcast, I talked for like 5 minutes about it on accident. I was very passionate about it.
When I went in to see Rise of Skywalker, I went at midnight opening night. I still had it spoiled for me, which was like such a fuck you, because I think we get it a day before you guys as well, just because of like the time zones. Whatever. I wrote out a list of guesses that I had, and one of them was like holocrons will come into play at some point. And when they pull out the Wayfinder, I was like, haha. And then they're like, the Wayfinder. I was like pulling my list back down, like, what the fuck did you just say? Yeah. So I also have thoughts.
Yeah.
They're pettier, but they're thoughts nonetheless.
No, you have to go off in our Discord.
Yes.
I may have written an article about it. I would have to find it though.
Oh yeah, send us the link.
Yeah.
Please, I will read it.
Yeah, I don't want to give them page views, but I will find it.
You can screenshot it.
There we go. That's probably what I'll do. Okay, I'm going to stop doing stuff on the internet. Sitting here.
I think Rachel did tell us we can end it whenever we want. Apparently.
Yeah, she was like, "I'm back whenever."
Whenever we say, although she could just cut us off right now.
Before we end, do we want to do like one positive thing about the week? Sorry, I do this with my like another club that I'm in all the time. How mean do you think I am?
Oh, I don't think you are.
No.
All right.
Of
let's
the 7 of us, you're probably the meanest, but it's just because we're all nice.
It's like, well, if we had to do a ranking,
it's a close 7. It's a close. We're all.
Yeah.
Okay. Good things that happened this week. I gotta think.
Yeah. Could be anything. Could be like you ate a meal that you really enjoy, or like.
Well, if the figure skating competition went better today, I would say Yuzuru Hanyu got gold, but he didn't.
Oh man. Oh man. Let me think.
I am fully moved back into my office.
Yay! I did notice a book behind you and some screen.
Yeah, I rearranged everything. I have a plant. It's exciting.
It's an adorable little plant.
Plant babies.
How long did it take you to put all the books back on the shelf?
Those are the one things I didn't have to move, but they're all like it's covered in dust. So I do have to take them all down, all 800 of them, and put them back, and I don't want to. So I'm gonna leave them up like this as long as I can get away with, but they're nasty. So
yeah,
we'll see. It's really bothering me, but I'm trying to ignore it.
You can't tell on stream.
No, I know.
It's fine. It looks fantastic.
Yeah. It's also like super cool that you have so many books. I have a tiny bookshelf, so I'm like, every time I see it pop up.
It's great, Brandy.
Hannah, what about you?
I was thinking, yesterday was really, really nice. So I took my pup on a hike and we hiked outside for a good 2 hours and it was super nice.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, we don't get to do that all that often just because the weather recently has been bad, or I've been doing things on the weekends. So it's been nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mine is that last night I felt the first like real kick of this baby, which was kind of gross, but it was like really, really sweet.
So
I also got to eat 2 cheeseburgers from McDonald's yesterday. So overall, it was a great day.
Oh, I did have McDonald's this week for the first time in I think a year. And I took one bite of a French fry and I'm like, oh my God. I totally forgotten what these fries are like. They're so good. They're so good.
Yeah. Like I know that they're like genetically modified to be that delicious, but God, it works.
Yeah. That's probably my highlight, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Awesome. Well, there's all of our socials scrolling along the bottom. There's a TeePublic. I'm trying to remember what David and Jason normally say.
We have one of our new podcast episode comes out on Monday. It's our last Women of Star Wars. Well, not our last Women of Star Wars. We're going to talk about them more, I'm sure. But for this month, our conversation on Rey. There's a Your Star Wars Journey coming every Friday, and then our live streams every Saturday at 7. So thank you guys so much for coming out. The chat was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And may the Force be with you always. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.